In this video, we will be showing you how to change the belt on your GlobalTek bottomless conveyor. We will also be showing you how to adjust the tension of the belt. After long-term use, the belts on your bottomless conveyor may wear and need to be replaced. When this occurs, it is a simple procedure to replace the belt. Shown here are the tools you will need for this procedure. To replace a belt, you will need to temporarily disassemble the belt cassette it is housed in. First, remove the sprocket bolt, fastened to the cassette by a washer and nut on the bottom of the cassette, using a 7/32 hex key and 9/16 wrench. Set the sprocket bolt, washer, and nut aside for now. Next, remove the 14 screws fastening the top plate of the cassette to the body using a 1/8 hex key. With the sprocket bolt and screws removed, the top plate of the belt cassette can be lifted off of the bottom. The top plate cannot be completely removed because the motor wire runs through both cassette plates, so it is recommended that another team member comes and holds the plate a few inches above the cassette, while the first team member works inside the cassette, as shown here. The team member with their hands free should carefully remove the belt from around the two sprockets in the cassette, pulling the belt up and over the top plate of the cassette and off of the machine, like so. Have one team member continue to hold the top plate up while the other begins placing the fresh belt over it. It can be placed on in the same manner the old one was taken off, by slowly but surely working it over the cassette top plate from the top down. Once the belt is back underneath the metal of the top plate, ensure that it is properly wrapped around the sprockets in either end of the belt cassette. We can now push the top plate back onto the body of the cassette, ensuring that the belt fits completely inside. Have one team member line up the screw holes in the top plate and hold the plate in place while the other begins reinserting the hardware, starting with the sprocket bolt. Refasten the sprocket bolt, washer, and nut so that the sprocket is held firmly in place, but do not fully tighten it just yet. Continue on to reinsert the other 14 screws in the cassette assembly using the 1/8 hex key. Once you have confirmed that everything lines up properly, fully tighten the sprocket bolt and screws using the 7/32 hex key and 9/16 wrench. Your cassette is now fully reassembled. Our belt has been replaced, but we need to adjust the tension for it to run properly. This procedure should be done not only when you replace the belt, but also when you notice any excess sagging. Loosen, but do not remove, the sprocket bolt using a 7/32 hex key and 9/16 wrench. This will allow the sprocket to move freely within the cassette. Insert the screwdriver between the sprocket and the white Delrin strip located within the cassette. Pry the sprocket away from the Delrin and towards the end of the cassette. This will tighten the belt and pull it inwards. Have a partner retighten the sprocket bolt once the belt has been properly tightened. This will hold the sprocket in place. The belt should now have much higher tension. Your belt has now been properly replaced and adjusted.